Welcome to Rams Iconic Live. Presented by 1800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila. Please drink responsibly. I am DeMarco Farr, and we are so excited for you guys to be here with us to help us celebrate the 25th anniversary of the 1999 Greatest Show on Turf Rams Super Bowl championship football team. Yes, sir. My next guest played 12 seasons in the NFL, 7 with the Rams, his last 7 with the Rams. He's a 7-time Pro Bowler, 3-time NFL Offensive Player of the Year. Marshall, this is incredible. 3-time NFL First-Team All-Pro and 2000 NFL MVP and a Hall of Famer. Please welcome Marshall Faulk.
Thank you.
I mean,
thanks for that introduction.
You're welcome. I
appreciate that.
Where do you keep all the hardware in your house? I mean, this is amazing.
You know what's funny? It's not even in my house.
It's not even in your house.
It's in storage.
Does this stuff resonate with you?
It does.
Everything you've done in this football, yeah.
Well, the personal stuff is one thing. It's it's the team stuff. Like when we get together and we can talk about the team stuff, the personal things. It's it is what it is. I know for the linemen that blocked for me, and the guys that I played with, it means a lot to them. But for me, it's all about what we did together. The things that as we get further away from our playing days, the things that matter are what we did as a team.
This is true. As we get older, right? You don't want to say
playing days.
Playing days.
From playing days.
I'll say older.
I don't want to say older.
Okay, so let's go back to high school. And you were a running back and a corner in high school?
Running back, yeah. Well, I played every position on offense but offensive line, and I played corner.
Okay, so the story is you wanted to play running back in college.
Yes.
And there was only one school that would let you play running back in college?
They were the first school who said I could play running back.
The first school, okay.
Yes. So I was going through this was before you had stars and all the stuff that you have now with being recruited. At this point in time, like, you had to campaign, and based on like how big your school was and how good your school was, you got notarized and you got offers. And I went to like the worst public school in the state of Louisiana.
Wow.
It was the last public high school in the city of New Orleans that if you got kicked out of public schools, well, they sent you to my high school to give you one more chance.
Wow.
That was my high school.
Wow.
So
yeah.
So we didn't have like the best talent.
Yeah.
And we weren't that good, so they didn't see me in the light that the guy who recruited me saw. He watched me play and kind of watched me as an athlete, came and watched me play basketball, saw my track and field accolades, and he saw me more as an athlete than just a football player.
So you could have played corner at any other school, or
easy, yes.
Any place else?
Yes. I got offered. In my high school All-Star game, I played corner.
You played corner.
I won MVP of my high school All-Star game because I picked off 2 passes and I ran one back for a touchdown.
See, it's making sense now. When we talk about how smart you are as a player, it's because you can play every position.
I wouldn't say every position.
Well, just about every position.
I knew what to do. And
okay, all right.
Playing it is another thing.
Well, let's go to your freshman year at San Diego State.
Yes.
And you're playing UOP, University of Pacific, and I still can't believe these numbers. 37 carries, 386 yards, and 7 touchdowns?
Yes.
Did they have 11 people on the field?
They did.
Okay.
Here's you know what? And when this story, like when people hear about this, what they don't show is I didn't start the game because I wasn't the starter. I only came in after the first quarter when the starter got hurt. So I played the first series of the second quarter, and I didn't play the end of the fourth.
386 yards, and you didn't play the fourth?
Yeah.
Did they stink?
No, I mean, they stunk after that.
Okay, I bet so. Yes, unbelievable.
I don't know about beforehand, but after that.
Unreal. You led the nation in rushing in 91 and 92. Right?
Yes.
So I remember, I was in college at the same time, and I remember watching you go up and down the field, and I said, he's doing it down there.
Let's be honest. You were like, if we played him, he would do that against us.
Everybody said that.
I know.
You know where I'm leading up to,
I
right?
know.
So we turned pro in 1994. You were what, the third pick? Second pick in the draft, and you go
Don't cheat me.
My bad.
Second.
You go to Indianapolis, and we're about to do battle. Rams and the Colts are about to battle, and we're both undefeated.
Yes.
We figured this out in the back. This is 1997.
1997. We're both undefeated. The Rams, they literally bust about 5 busloads of people to Indianapolis for that game. And in that game, it's a home game. I'm playing for the Colts. I come out. Their fans are at the game early, and they're booing. I'm like, you're booing me in my stadium?
Yes.
Oh, my God. It sparked something in me. Now, there was a couple other things that was going on at that time. I knew of Isaac. We were the same draft class, and I was like, man, I want to see if this guy can play. Literally, they open up, bomb to Isaac, like first play of the game. Bomb. I was like, oh, boy, it's going to be a long one. I figured we'd have a shootout. But then we start playing, and they had an issue with a particular play, and we ran the crap out of this play. Like this, literally, it was like we had a sprint draw play that they could not stop. They could not figure it out. It did not matter. We disguise it and then just little walk to the side like I'm going to help the end, and got them every time. That play really broke their defense down.
You know who he's talking about, right? Me. Yeah.
He was just one of the guys.
Yeah.
There was 10 other guys out there.
So I played some good backs, and I just been run over physically. Guys run away from you, but this was the first time a running back had made me feel stupid. This one right here. He was so smart and so crafty and so fast. I thought those were your fans booing you. I thought they had fired you up. I think you finished that game with 177 yards and 3 touchdowns.
220 yards and 4 touchdowns. Don't cheat me. He trying to cheat me.
Just going off the sheet, man. That's what I'm saying.
It's okay.
Yes. So I left that game with a healthy respect for Marshall Faulk. As a matter of fact, there's my brother. I called him and said, everything you thought about Marshall is wrong. He can really play. Absolutely. Okay, so let's jump to, 97, 98. I remember, this is the other memory I have of you. We're watching tape on the 49ers, and I'm watching you go up and down the field on them in San Fran, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, this dude is really balling. And then jump to 99, I see you on a treadmill talking about you're coming to play for us now. How did you know about that trade? How did you find out about being traded to St. Louis from Indianapolis?
Eric Dickerson.
Eric Dickerson told you?
Yeah. So Eric, and this is the first time this story has been told. Eric Dickerson was the orchestrator of what happened. The Rams did not know what was going on at the Colts with myself, and Eric is a mentor of mine. He's a guy that I've always talked to. Me being here, growing up in Southern California, playing at San Diego State, Eric was the big dog up here. I'd come up and see him, and we developed a relationship. And we were at the Pro Bowl, the end of the 98 season, 99. Eric went into the Hall of Fame, 99. Mm-hmm. We're at the Pro Bowl, and I'm talking to Eric, and we just found out from the Colts that we're not on the same page. And so my agent is talking to – my agent and Eric are friends too.
Rock, right?
Yes. Rocky yes. Arsenault. And so they're talking, and so Eric just hears the information. And literally a couple of days later, he says to John Shaw and them, hey, are you guys interested in Marshall Faulk? And John, the story goes, I don't know the other side, but this is what I heard. John then was like, Eric, what are you talking about? He's not available. I think he is.
Wow.
And that's how it started.
Wow.
From that, the relationship between Jim Moore and Dick Vermeil from when they coached here at UCLA was storied. And Coach Vermeil made the call and said, is this true? And that's how it all started.
Wow.
That's how that conversation started.
What did you know about us then, about the Rams then before you got there? I mean, we played you a couple of years before. What did you know about us then?
Well, let's just say this. When the Colts decided, hey, we're going to trade you, find a team, my demands were I want to play on grass. I want to play with a winning team who has a good quarterback.
Okay.
They met none of my demands when they traded me to the Rams.
We were on the hardest turf ever. We weren't winning.
They literally met none of my demands.
None. Okay.
Oh, boy, that was like perfect.
I think you are responsible for making Coach Vermeil back down a little bit because, like Isaac said, we were doing 3.5-hour practices twice a day in training camp in pads. We were banging. And then we got you, and all of a sudden everything kind of backed down to a normal practice. Did you have some kind of conversation with him?
Well, not with him,
okay.
but to the powers to be, I said, here's the deal, all right? I'm going to come and I'm going to work as hard as I can, but I will not get hurt in practice. I will not, like, I practice hard. I understand how to work, but I am not – my contract was done. They said, we're going to – hold up, wait, we got to get Coach Vermeil.
Yeah.
And how we're going to have practice at training camps because they were having three-hour practices.
Banging,
I'm like, dude, you ain't got nothing left for the game.
Nothing.
I didn't want no parts of that.
Did you hear about the mutiny? Did you hear about that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
we
heard about that,
actually
too.
had a mutiny in Chicago.
Yes.
Yeah, that lasted all of 30 seconds.
But what they said was we're going to talk to Coach, and we're gonna get things to where, it's more player-friendly in a sense. You just got to allow guys to rest as we get late in the week, especially for the veteran guys.
Yeah.
And we had some Ray Agnew. We had some guys who, right around week 8, week 9, they need to be rested, man.
Yeah.
And Coach Vermeil just being in practice with you guys, watching how intense he was, it was like, I want no parts of that.
Yeah. I mean, he only knew one way to do it.
That's it.
Yeah,
he only knew one way.
Yeah, and once we finally got him to back off slightly, I mean, and it was almost this thing like, okay, guys, I'm going to back off, and if we lose or if we start going backwards, we're going right back to those 3 hours. So that's kind of what motivated us, at least on defense. Do you guys feel the same way?
Well, we knew that that we needed to show him not just that in the winning, but the brand of football that Mike Martz and what we were doing, that you could not just win, but sustain it. Because Coach Vermeil had a different idea of how to win football games. It was Coach Vermeil, and I'm going to say this. Coach Vermeil was from the Jim Harbaugh methodology.
Yeah.
If you watch, it's all hard-nosed. Like, he only wants tough guys. Like, if you're a skill guy, and none of that. It's all blue collar, and that's all he knew. And there's some finesse around the game and how you play it. Mm-hmm. And it took him a while to adapt to how we played and how we practiced. And I mean, it like guys, we were so fresh going into games when we cut back on the practice hours.
Killing them. When did you know we were going to be good?
Actually, the only reason I came back to the Rams after minicamp was because of what I saw. In minicamp, I was like, nope, I ain't going. I'm not going to the Rams. I don't want to play on turf. And he said, just go to minicamp. And I don't know if he had a conversation with them, with the organization. And, Mike talked to me. Mike said, just hear me out. See the offense. Mm-hmm. Look at how I'm going to use you. And if this doesn't fit you, then make your decision. So I came. I didn't take first team reps when I first got there. I kind of stood back and I watched, and then I kind of got into practices. But I watched how hard Isaac Bruce worked. I was like, this guy working like we got a game tomorrow. Like,
yeah,
he's just
super
like
hard.
This is just, we don't play till like in the fall, but he worked. Like he was like a game was he was getting ready to play. And then I saw young Torrey Holt and Oz and Tony, and then in the backfield with Holcomb and Ampley. I mean, we had some pieces, Roland, Ernie, and then the offensive line. Like, I had never seen a human being like Orlando Pace. I was like, oh, look at this. Look at this. Wow. Yeah. Like, I just never seen a human being look like that. And then just a little bit smaller than him was Fred Miller. I was like, God, this is like. And then we had some lunch pail guys in the middle that was just ready to go get grimy and dirty and do all the inside dirty work. And after minicamp, I went to Rocky. He was like, all right, so what we doing? I said, try to sign me. Try to get me signed. I said, I like the chemistry. And here's what happened. after the last day of minicamp, we were laying around, and me, Keith Lyle, I almost called him Trey Nick. Me, Keith Lyle, Todd Light, we're sitting down, and we were literally, somebody said, I don't know, like, why not us, man? Why can't we be good? Why not us? And then, the conversation of, like, why not? And just asking that question brings the focus to the attention to detail that need to be had from that mini camp to when we come to camp, what you need to come back like. And it was that question, hearing guys question, it was like, because I was just like you guys in the sense that although, I had done some good things, we've been to the playoffs in Indy, in football, I had never won anything. I've been champion in every other sport. Football, I never won. And I always felt like I played with the subpar group of guys growing up that I couldn't accomplish what I should have accomplished early on in life. And hearing some guys committed. Now, when you looked at the roster was stacked. It was a bunch of first-round picks, like high picks, guys that was just like ready to come into their own from Grant to Kevin. It was just a Todd.
Yeah.
It was a lot of guys, and then some early second-round picks who was like guys that was just ready, and I was
and
just
some
like,
undrafted rookie free agents.
Yeah. Because you listen, now you need them.
Yeah.
you need those undrafted guys
Yeah.
because they complete the team. Like they complete the team. And with that and hearing the messaging, I was like, I like this group of guys.
You fit in with us from day one.
Yeah.
From day one, you were just one of us. It's like you've been there the whole time. But I do remember that. Frank Gans would walk by. He was our special teams coach. Guys, rest his soul. He would say, why not the Rams? Why not us? Why not now?
Yep.
Like every day. And it'd be like, you're right. Why not us?
Yeah.
We got him. We got this. We got that. So going back to that preseason, San Diego, when Trent goes down, Isaac just talked about it. When you saw Trent go down and Kurt have to step in, what was your mindset then?
Well, first, when Trent went down, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I was like, damn. And I was first like, damn, because Rodney Harrison was my guy to block, and I kind of half-ass blocked him like it was preseason, just a little push. And Rodney was a guy who played through the whistle. And he as I pushed him down, he pushed the ground and dove, and that's literally how Trent's leg went, how Trent got hit. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself like, wow, like and like I kind of took it as if it was my fault. And I'm thinking to myself at that point in time, this is so selfish of me, but I'll share it with you guys. I was saying to myself, God, I left Peyton Manning.
Wow. That's a fair thought, though, right? Okay. I mean, I didn't know you were supposed to block him on that. Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, he was my guy.
They had to take him out of the stadium under police escort.
Yeah.
I mean, we were mad about that. That was preseason.
Yeah.
So in walks Kurt Warner, and I remember Coach Vermeil. He said it to us before he told the world, we're going to rally around Kurt Warner and play good football. What he didn't mention in that press conference was we're going to run Marshall, play defense, and win football games. So we didn't know Kurt was going to be Kurt. When did you know Kurt was going to take off and be this special guy that wound up in the Hall of Fame with you?
I want to say maybe I think week 4, I think the Cincinnati game, I turned the team over to Kurt because the team has to be led by the quarterback. Up until the Cincinnati game, I kind of took it up on myself to make sure that things went right, that guys were mentally prepared for whatever it was to come. And I allow Kurt just to find himself because it was a unique situation to have the components around him. And, it's preparation, meeting an opportunity, and making the most of it. And, I didn't know as much about Kurt's story I just knew he was a guy who was bagging groceries at a Hy-Vee, and all of a sudden now he was going to be my quarterback instead of Peyton Manning or Trent Green. And it just didn't sound good. It just didn't sound. The pedigree wasn't there. But I'm gonna tell you, we went to Detroit, and a nervous Kurt Warner literally went 10 for 10, and I was like, the emoji with your eyes going. I was looking at Mike like, is this a setup? I know this is the Detroit Lions, but those guys are getting paid too.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that was pretty special. And then we come out and, and we get ready for the regular season. And I think we opened up against Baltimore.
Yeah.
And, you couldn't have it better. It's like, okay, we're going to find out now. We're going to find out now. This was the precursor for raising them defense, finding their identity before the next year when they won the Super Bowl, coming in playing against us. And, they had the people everywhere, whether it was Ray and Siragusa and Sam Adams and Sharper, and they had McAllister, and I was like, man, they were stacked. And what they did was they knew me. Like I played against Baltimore a couple of times when I was in the AFC playing with the Colts, and they literally, Ray showed up. First play, he walked up to the line of scrimmage. I was lining up. He said, "You ain't winning the game today.
Oh,
we gonna find out who he is."
Wow.
And literally, I think my first 5 carries was for a -5 yards.
Oh, yeah.
If the ball looked like a play fake, they run blitz this. And Mike, Mike, we came second quarter, we came to the sideline, and Mike was like, he's talking. I don't know who he's talking to. Like, yeah, we got to open it up. We got to open it up. And literally, Kurt started dropping back, start throwing the ball. I was like, okay, all right, this. And we ended up winning this game. It was a pretty close game. I think it was 27-17 or something like that. And, defense played very good. I think we had the advantage in special teams as well. But it was watching the next week at practice, just his attention to detail, Kurt with he just wanted to get better, and he was a sponge. And watching him work and just kind of remain humble about what was going on around him. And that Cincinnati game, this was the first time in a game that I had.
We played them there, right?
Yeah, we were in Cincinnati.
We were there. Yeah,
we were in Cincinnati, and we were up 28 to 3 in the second half, and this was the first time in a game of football that I was on a team, a part of an offense. I had only touched the ball 4 times in a half, and we were up by 28 points.
Crazy.
I was like, I have a team. Oh my God, I got help. Because there's nothing like standing on the sidelines and you look at your team and you look at the other team and you're singing the national anthem and you're like, this is not going to be fun.
This is going to be ugly. Yeah. Isn't that the same game that we got the plane malfunction, right? Yeah, the plane malfunction. So they let us off and we took over an airport bar and just stayed there for hours. Yeah, it was until they fixed the plane. It was one of the best bonding moments we ever had as a football team. I think that's when that whole why not us, why not now? I think that's when that all kind of gelled together.
It got loose then.
Yeah.
It started in minicamp. Obviously, Gann said it beforehand. Kind of started in minicamp, and then every once in a while he'd sprinkle it in his special teams meeting, and then it started making it to the team meetings. And, I think we were 4-0 then.
Yeah.
It's like, why not? Because the belief, it wasn't just belief. We actually had tangible wins, the Rams being 4-0. That was
crazy. Just nuts. Okay, so let's jump to Atlanta. I remember being announced, here come the St. Louis Rams, and we run out the tunnel. And I was about to hyperventilate because it was weird. Ryan Tucker, our backup offensive tackle, and I'm standing by him just randomly. And I'm getting ready to play, and it's normal. And then I look over and I see he's about 6'7". So I see his shoulder and it says Super Bowl 34. And I realize the gravity of the situation. We're going out in the Super Bowl. I mean, this is it. This is the biggest game of our life. How did you feel taking the field in Atlanta that day?
So what I did was, things that I do, I called guys that played. I reached out to Emmett, reached out to Thurman. I was like, talk to me. Like, I've never been here. But what am I missing? I'm like, this feels like another game to me. And Emmett said, it is. But until you win one, it's the biggest game of your life.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, that's cool.
Until you win one, this is the biggest game of your life.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. And then Thurman said, of all the games you're going to play, this is the game you don't want to lose.
I mean,
there's two sides to every coin.
Wow.
It's like, and you get, and I'm like, what do I need to? Emmett told me, and he said, listen, if the offense gets called out, he said, and I noticed that you go last. That's what I did. Uh-huh. He said, make sure when you run through the tunnel, after you do what you do or whatever, you're going to be more like hyped than you normally are. Go straight to the oxygen, replenish yourself, and be ready to play. Because you literally, the adrenaline will take away your stamina. And that's exactly what I did. Like, I felt, I ran through, I was like, whoo, it felt like we just had a 10-play drive.
Yeah, so you felt it too.
Oh, yeah, and then I went over, I got the oxygen, I sat there, okay, all right, cool. And then I got up, I was ready, I did all the things that they told me.
Yeah.
Thurman said, like, those first couple of series, things are going to be moving very fast. He says you're going to see more people around the field. The field's going to feel smaller. Mm-hmm. He said, but it's the same size field. Don't pay attention to the people around the field, and just do what you do in between the white lines, and that's it.
I wish he would have told me about the oxygen thing. Maybe I would have played better. Yeah, it was rough. 5 catches, 90 yards. Where were you for Isaac's big touchdown that put us ahead?
I had the daunting responsibility of being the check down, but in that play, I had to make sure that whomever was rushing outside of Fred, I did what's called skim block.
Our right tackle. Yeah.
Yeah, I did what's called skim block. So I check to see if they blitz, and if they don't blitz inside, don't blitz outside. I release outside of him, and I get as close to his pass as possible. And any defensive end knows that means your ribs are exposed, and he don't try to turn the corner. He then straightens up and gets square onto the tackle and makes it easier for the tackle to block. So I had a skim block to what's a balloon route, which is get open for me.
Yeah. Who was it? Who were you blocking? Was that the freak?
No,
Javon Curse. It was Javon Curse. You guys remember Javon Curse?
Yeah.
Imagine if he played in today's game with that athleticism. Amazing. So that defense. So he scores. We're ahead. They're driving. Where were you for the final play?
I'm on the opposite 40. I'm on my hands and knees, literally.
Yeah.
Like this, not wanting to watch.
What were you thinking? What was going through your mind there?
And I think I was the only one thinking of this. I was like, serious. This was my thought. Is Jeff Fisher going to go for 2?
So you thought they were going to score?
I was like, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm watching Steve McNair. Yeah. I'm from the South. I watch HBCUs. I understand who Steve McNair is. Like, you give him one drive, this dude, I don't care who it's against, like, just through sheer will.
Yeah.
It does not matter who's on his team. Steve McNair won these games. Like, he scored the touchdown to give his team a chance. And just out of respect, I was like, man, because if you looked at our team that year, in most of those games, if that was a situation, we were out there as the offense to win the game. And this was like our defense was out there to win the game. And I was just like, it's an unusual feeling. You're used to being in control. And now that's all we could do is watch and support. And I was just like, man, get myself in the frame of mind of if they score and they kick it, we go into overtime, I got to be ready. Like, I'm thinking about what's next.
Hell of a play by Mike Jones.
Oh, man.
Hell of a play.
Did
you think he scored?
No.
You knew it.
Oh, no,
back there, you knew.
I could see it.
Marshall, I was 10 yards away, and I thought he scored.
No.
How did you know?
Not because I saw his knee tap down.
You saw his knee tap down.
I saw his knee tap down, yeah.
Super smart. See,
Yeah.
I every time I watch that highlight from that season, even though I'm wearing this thing here, I still think we're going to lose that game.
Yeah.
I still think it's crazy. And I'm with you about Steve McNair. I just said this with Isaac. Toughest assignment of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, toughest assignment. First time and only time Todd Light cussed me out for letting him break contain because he had to tackle him. How big was McNair?
I'm going to say 240, let's see, 6'3", 240, and a solid linebacker type 240, like a guy if he wasn't in quarterback mode to where he was protecting himself, you had your hands full.
It looked like his helmet was too small. That's how big he was.
Yeah.
Just big dude, big neck, big everything.
Neck,
yeah. So we get the win. It's so much fun. I told Isaac about that when they put the podium up, how fast they put that up. Ticker tape everywhere. It's great. I mean, what are you thinking now when Dick Vermeil is going around saying you're a world champion, you're a world champion?
I never won in the sport of football. Like, I was just like, I was in disbelief that I waited all this time playing football to win at this level. Like, there's not a better, like, waiting process to go through. Like, oh my God, if I, like, all the times I wanted to win in high school or Little League or in college, and like this at this time, this moment was nothing better than that feeling that we had, what we experienced, and the night that we had that went on into the morning and then into the night.
Kept going. Yeah, the ring ceremony was even better. Yeah, 3 hours after we got these, this is all I had on. But never mind. Some people were there. Never mind, though. So you see how smart he is and how intelligent and how he never changes his demeanor, right? This is who he is. And I still think to this day you could have been a coach. You could have been a GM. You could run a football team. You really can. I saw that picture of you, Eric, Steven Jackson, and Todd Gurley. Have you guys seen that picture yet? Tell me that doesn't, like, raise the hair on your skin. I mean, tell me about that day real quick.
Yeah, man, that's it was there's just the lineage of Rams running backs, like there's a lot of football history there. But I think more than what that history is, in the sense of for us and what we did, it's what was done for us by Kenny Washington and what he meant to the league, and the reintegrating of allowing us as African Americans to play in the NFL, like just bringing that up and what Kenny afforded us the opportunity to do. Yeah, doing that piece was special. I'm from the South. Yeah. I grew up and I understand racism and all of that stuff and being suppressed, and that was a part of the culture of the South, and to understand what was done for us to have the opportunity that we have to play this game today, and to make what the guys are making today. Yeah. It was on the backs of guys like Kenny, and for the Rams and Mitchell and Ness to allow us to do that collection and to point the attention to what he meant to football and what he did and to this organization. It's awesome.
You ever think about what you would make now if you played?
I don't.
I don't think they would be able to afford you, man.
I don't.
And I'm so happy that Todd Gurley's in that picture with you.
Yeah.
Because, at one point, you guys saw Todd run, right? Just truly special. He belongs amongst the greats. Man, Marshall, it's good to see you. Thank you so much. That's a wrap on this episode of Rams Iconic Live. The greatest fans in the world, presented by 1800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila. Don't go anywhere yet. We've got to take a picture. Please drink responsibly. Hope you enjoyed this conversation with Marshall Faulk, and we'll see you next time for Rams Iconic.